Every year, America's national parks claim over 300 lives. These aren't freak accidents or rare incidents. They're consistent death tolls at specific locations that draw millions of visitors annually. Some parks record fatalities at rates that would shut down any theme park or tourist attraction. Here are the 10 national parks where visiting could be your last adventure. 10. Grand Canyon National Park. The Grand Canyon records an average of 12 deaths per year, making it one of the deadliest parks in America. The vast majority of these fatalities occur along the rim, where a single misstep sends visitors plummeting over 1,000 feet. There are no guardrails along most of the canyon's edge, and every year tourists venture too close while taking photos or attempting dangerous selfies. Heat-related deaths spike during summer months when temperatures at the canyon floor reach 120 degrees Fahrenheit. Hikers underestimate the difficulty of the return climb, which gains over 4,000 feet in elevation. Dehydration and heat stroke-kill experienced hikers who run out of water miles from the nearest ranger station. The Bright Angel Trail alone has claimed dozens of lives from visitors who started their descent without proper preparation. Falls account for nearly half of all Grand Canyon deaths, with most victims stepping backward for photos. The Colorado River at the bottom has killed swimmers who underestimated its current and freezing temperatures. Flash floods in side canyons trap hikers with no warning, turning narrow passages into deadly water channels within minutes. Recent years have seen an increase in deaths from visitors ignoring warning signs and barriers. In 2019 alone, 3 people fell to their deaths in separate incidents within a single 3-week period. Park rangers respond to over 400 medical emergencies annually, many involving visitors who ventured beyond designated safe zones. The park's remote locations mean helicopter rescues can take hours, and many victims die before help arrives. 9. Yosemite National Park. Yosemite National Park averages between 12 and 15 deaths annually, with falls being the primary cause. Half Dome's Cables route has killed multiple climbers who lost their grip on the steep granite surface, particularly during wet conditions when the rock becomes extremely slippery. The final 400-foot ascent requires climbers to pull themselves up a 45-degree slope using only cable handrails. Waterfall deaths occur regularly at Yosemite, with Vernal Fall and Nevada Fall being especially dangerous. Visitors who venture beyond safety barriers to wade in the water above these falls get swept over the edge by currents stronger than they appear. The water above Vernal Fall has claimed multiple lives when seemingly calm pools suddenly pulled swimmers toward the 317-foot drop. Signs warn visitors to stay back, yet fatalities from ignoring these warnings happen nearly every year. Rock falls kill and injure visitors without warning throughout the park. Yosemite's granite cliffs shed rocks and boulders regularly, and these falling debris can reach speeds over 200 miles per hour. A 2017 rockfall in El Capitan killed one climber and injured another, demonstrating that even experienced mountaineers face risks they cannot control. Climbing accidents on El Capitan and other big walls contribute significantly to Yosemite's death toll. The park attracts world-class climbers attempting multi-day ascents on vertical granite faces thousands of feet high. Equipment failure, falls, and medical emergencies on these remote cliff faces often result in fatalities even when rescue teams respond quickly. Free solo climbing, where climbers ascend without ropes or safety equipment, has claimed lives on routes throughout the park. 8. Lake Mead National Recreation Area. Lake Mead records the highest number of deaths of any national park service site, averaging around 25 deaths per year. Drowning is the leading cause, accounting for roughly half of all fatalities at this desert reservoir. The lake's size and numerous hidden dangers make it deceptively deadly, despite appearing calm on the surface. The water temperature varies dramatically between the surface and deeper levels, causing sudden cold shock that can incapacitate even strong swimmers. Steep underwater drop-offs catch swimmers off guard, with the lake bottom plunging from shallow areas to depths exceeding 100 feet within a few strokes. Alcohol consumption contributes to a significant percentage of drowning deaths, as impaired judgment leads to risky behavior on boats and in the water. Boating accidents claim lives regularly at Lake Mead, with collisions and capsizing occurring frequently during busy summer weekends. The reservoir's vastness means rescue teams can take considerable time to reach victims, and the hot desert climate creates additional medical emergencies. Heat exposure kills hikers and stranded boaters who underestimate the extreme temperatures that routinely exceed 110 degrees Fahrenheit. Carbon monoxide poisoning from boat exhaust has caused deaths when swimmers congregate near the stern of running boats. The invisible, odorless gas accumulates in areas around swim platforms and can cause unconsciousness within minutes. Vehicle accidents on park roads and cliff falls also contribute to Lake Mead's death toll, making it consistently one of the most dangerous areas managed by the National Park Service. 7. Glen Canyon National Recreation Area. Glen Canyon averages approximately 7 deaths per year, with drowning being the primary cause. Lake Powell's 1,900 miles of shoreline creates countless locations where swimmers can get into trouble far from help. The lake's remote canyons and slot formations attract kayakers and boaters who become trapped when water levels change or weather conditions deteriorate rapidly. Cliff jumping has killed numerous visitors who underestimated the height or failed to check water depth before jumping. Popular jumping spots see depths that change throughout the season as reservoir levels fluctuate, and rocks that were submerged one week can be just below the surface the next. The impact from jumps exceeding 50 feet can cause fatal injuries even when the water is deep enough. Houseboats create unique dangers at Glen Canyon, including carbon monoxide poisoning and entanglement in propellers. Multiple deaths have occurred when swimmers dove off houseboats into water where the propeller was still engaged. The lake's size means boaters can find themselves hours from medical help when accidents occur, and cell phone coverage is non-existent in most areas. Slot canyons surrounding Lake Powell flood without warning during monsoon season, trapping hikers in narrow passages where water can rise over 10 feet in minutes. These flash floods have killed experienced hikers who entered canyons during clear weather, unaware that storms miles away were sending walls of water downstream. Heat-related deaths also occur regularly as summer temperatures in the surrounding desert frequently exceed 100 degrees Fahrenheit. 6. Natchez Trace Parkway. Natchez Trace Parkway records around 10 to 13 deaths annually, with motor vehicle accidents being the overwhelming cause. This 444-mile scenic road connects Mississippi to Tennessee, and its two-lane design combined with wildlife crossings creates deadly conditions. The lack of a center median allows head-on collisions that frequently result in fatalities. Deer strikes kill motorists regularly along the trace, particularly during dawn and dusk hours when visibility is reduced. A deer collision at highway speeds can send the animal through the windshield, causing fatal injuries to drivers and passengers. The parkway's design prohibits commercial vehicles, but this doesn't prevent the frequent fatal accidents involving passenger cars and motorcycles. Motorcycle fatalities occur at a disproportionately high rate on the Natchez Trace due to its curved roads and limited shoulders. Riders lose control on tight turns or strike wildlife that appears suddenly from dense roadside vegetation. The scenic nature of the parkway means many drivers and riders aren't paying full attention to road conditions, increasing accident risk. Single vehicle crashes account for a significant portion of deaths, with drivers running off the road and striking trees or rolling their vehicles. The parkway's rural location means emergency response times can exceed 30 minutes in some areas, and victims of serious crashes often die before reaching a hospital. Weather conditions including fog, ice, and heavy rain contribute to crashes throughout the year on this continuously dangerous roadway. 5. North Cascades National Park. North Cascades records fewer total deaths than some larger parks, but has one of the highest death rates per visitor. The park's extreme terrain and unpredictable weather create conditions that kill even experienced mountaineers. Climbing accidents account for the majority of fatalities in this rugged wilderness area. Glacier travel requires specialized skills, yet many visitors attempt crossings without proper equipment or training. Hidden crevasses open suddenly beneath snow bridges, and falls into these ice formations are often fatal. The park's glaciers are among the most active in the lower 48 states, constantly shifting and creating new hazards. Hypothermia kills hikers and climbers throughout the year in the North Cascades, where temperatures can drop below freezing even during summer months. Sudden weather changes trap mountaineers on exposed peaks, where wind and precipitation create life-threatening conditions within hours. Rescue operations are complicated by the remote nature of the park and difficult helicopter access in many areas. Avalanches pose a constant winter and spring threat in the North Cascades, burying skiers and climbers under tons of snow. The park's steep terrain and heavy snowfall create ideal avalanche conditions, and snowslides have killed multiple people in single incidents. River crossings during spring runoff have also proven fatal when hikers attempt to ford swollen streams with powerful currents capable of sweeping adults off their feet. 4. Denali National Park. Denali records deaths primarily from mountaineering accidents on North America's tallest peak. Mount Denali itself kills an average of 3 to 5 climbers per year, though the park's overall death toll includes other causes. The mountain's extreme altitude, severe weather, and technical climbing requirements make it one of the world's most dangerous peaks. Altitude sickness affects most climbers who attempt Denali's 20,310-foot summit, and severe cases of high-altitude pulmonary edema or cerebral edema can be fatal. Climbers must acclimatize slowly during their ascent, but even experienced mountaineers can develop life-threatening symptoms. Rescue helicopters cannot operate at the higher elevations of Denali, meaning climbers who become incapacitated above certain camps face delayed evacuation. Falls on steep ice and snow slopes kill climbers regularly, particularly on sections like the Autobahn and the exposed ridge approaching Denali Pass. Crevasse Falls claim lives when climbers break through snow bridges or fall into hidden openings in glaciers. Weather conditions can deteriorate rapidly, with winds exceeding 100 miles per hour and temperatures dropping below -40 degrees Fahrenheit. Hypothermia and frostbite cause deaths when climbers become stranded during storms that can last for days. Some climbers have frozen to death in their tents while waiting for weather to improve. The climbing season is short, and pressure to summit before it ends pushes some climbers to take risks in marginal conditions. Wildlife encounters, including grizzly bear attacks, contribute to additional deaths in lower elevation areas of the park. Number 3. Sequoia and Kings Canyon National Parks. Sequoia and Kings Canyon record approximately 6 deaths per year, with drowning being the leading cause. The park's rivers and waterfalls become deadly during spring snowmelt when water flow increases dramatically. The Kaweah River has claimed numerous lives from swimmers who underestimated its current strength. High Sierra wilderness areas in these parks present extreme dangers from falls, hypothermia, and getting lost. The backcountry terrain includes steep granite slopes, where a fall can mean sliding hundreds of feet down rock faces. Mountain lakes that appear inviting for swimming have water temperatures cold enough to cause rapid hypothermia even in summer. Rock climbing accidents occur regularly on the park's granite formations, with some routes approaching the technical difficulty of Yosemite climbs. Lightning strikes have killed hikers caught above treeline during afternoon thunderstorms common in the Sierra Nevada. The park's elevation ranges from around 1,500 feet to over 14,000 feet at Mount Whitney, and altitude sickness affects unprepared visitors. Vehicle accidents on the steep winding roads into the parks contribute to the death toll, particularly during winter when ice and snow create hazardous driving conditions. The General's Highway includes sharp switchbacks and steep drop-offs with minimal guardrails. Bear encounters have resulted in injuries, but rarely deaths, though the parks warn visitors that black bears are active throughout both wilderness and developed areas. Number 2. Grand Teton National Park. Grand Teton National Park averages around 6 deaths annually, with climbing accidents being the most common cause. The Teton Range attracts mountaineers from around the world, and its steep granite peaks require technical climbing skills. The Grand Teton itself, at 13,775 feet, has claimed dozens of lives from climbers who fell, got struck by lightning, or died from hypothermia. Drowning deaths occur in the park's cold alpine lakes and in the Snake River. Jackson Lake and Jenny Lake have water temperatures that rarely exceed 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Even in summer, and cold shock can incapacitate swimmers within minutes. The Snake River's current is deceptively strong, and several drownings have occurred when people entered the water for recreation or accidentally fell in. Weather conditions change rapidly in the Tetons, and climbers caught in sudden storms face extreme danger. Lightning strikes are a serious threat on exposed ridges and summits, with multiple climbers killed over the years by direct strikes or ground current. Afternoon thunderstorms form regularly during summer months, and climbers who start early often find themselves descending in dangerous conditions. Avalanches kill backcountry skiers and climbers during winter and spring months when snowpack becomes unstable. The steep terrain creates ideal conditions for massive snowslides that can bury victims under many feet of snow. Wildlife encounters contribute to injuries, though deaths from animal attacks are rare. Falls while hiking on steep trails and scrambling on loose rock account for additional fatalities in areas that don't require technical climbing equipment. Number 1. Mount Rainier National Park. Mount Rainier holds the distinction of having one of the highest death rates per visitor of any national park. The mountain itself has claimed over 400 lives since record-keeping began, with an average of 2 to 3 deaths occurring each year on climbing attempts alone. The park's total annual death toll averages around 5 to 6 when including all causes. Glaciers cover Mount Rainier's slopes, creating extensive crevasse fields that have swallowed climbers who fell into hidden openings. These ice crevasses can be over 100 feet deep, and victims who fall in often cannot be recovered. The mountain's glaciers are constantly moving and changing, creating new hazards each season. Rope teams have been pulled into crevasses when one member fell, and the rest couldn't arrest the fall. Weather on Mount Rainier is notoriously unpredictable and severe, with the summit holding the record for the highest measured snowfall in a single year in North America. Whiteout conditions disorient climbers, and many who became lost on the mountain were never found. Hypothermia kills climbers who get caught in storms or fall into crevasses where they survive the impact but die from cold before rescue arrives. Avalanches on Mount Rainier have killed multiple climbers in single incidents, with the mountain's steep slopes and heavy snowfall creating frequent slide conditions. The 1981 avalanche on Ingraham Glacier killed 11 climbers in the deadliest single incident in the park's history. Falls from steep ice slopes, rockfall, and altitude sickness contribute to additional deaths. The combination of extreme weather, technical terrain, and the mountain's popularity among climbers makes Mount Rainier consistently deadly, despite modern rescue capabilities and safety equipment. These 10 national parks prove that America's most beautiful landscapes are also its most unforgiving. The death tolls aren't decreasing despite improved safety measures and constant warnings from park rangers. But these aren't even the deadliest places you can visit on Earth. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more beyond belief facts, click on the video appearing on your screen now and remember to hit the subscribe button.